Warning, this video contains massive spoilers for Gacha. You've been warned, watch at your own risk. The world of Gacha is broken. When you analyze it from a macro and micro level, everything about the world is just wrong. Sure, there is some sort of normalcy. People do live regular lives in each of the wards on the ground, but that sense of normalcy is fleeting. There's nothing normal about having to avoid snow because it's toxic and it'll make you sick if you're exposed to it. There's nothing normal about your home suddenly being wiped out of nowhere because of trash falling from the sky. There's nothing normal about having to leave your home because it's been invaded by trash beasts. Aside from the snow obviously being a seasonal thing, the other two can happen anytime to anyone not living in a dome city on the ground. Frankly speaking, everything is all wrong and life at the ground appears to be very temporary. The slightest thing could change everything, as you could either get killed by a trash beast or mistakenly wander into a polluted zone and die. Deep down, everyone knows all of this is not normal and living like this is not sustainable. Still, everyone carries about with their daily lives like nothing happened, and even go as far as to throw festivals that the rich and privileged can attend, while the poor live on the edge, knowing their lives can end just about any time. The status quo works and no one wants to do anything about it, aside from one man. Zodil is a very fascinating man for a lot of reasons, but what really strikes out to me is that he's sort of like a shepherd among the sheep. He's that guy that took the red pill. Through fates and circumstances, he's one of the only people in the entire story of Gacha that's come to the realization that the sphere is the root of all the problems that happen in the ground, and the only way for things to possibly get better is for the sphere to be gone. Now, to be fair, people do hate the ground because of all the death and destruction it's caused. Zodil is by no means the first person to come to this realization. He is the first person actively taking steps to do something about it though. For all the noble cause and intent that's directed towards the ground and its inhabitants, one might think Zodil has pure intentions, something along the lines of a Thanos. That philosophy of the ends justify the means and this sacrifice is necessary for the greater good. But no, Zodil isn't a messiah. He's motivated by pure calculated hatred and will not stop until the sphere is gone. You see though, the thing is that it's very unlikely things play out the way Zodil predicts them to go. I hate to say it, but how many times does the main antagonist of a series get to see their goal fulfilled? There ain't a whole lot, if any. Zodil most likely shares the same fate as many of his other counterparts that have come before him. Hey bruh, don't hate the messenger, hate the message. This brings us to Rudo, because as much as Zodil might seem like he's going to be the one to destroy the sphere, a lot of evidence actually suggests that it might be Rudo instead. Firstly, we gotta address the elephant in the room. Rudo has some sort of inner demon that's lurking in him. So like episode 4 for you guys that still decided to watch this video even though you're not caught up with the mangas and you just love spoilers. When Simu looked at Rudo with her eyes, no, not that one, this one, she checked to see what his true essence and intent was. And at that point, everything was all blank and static. We then got further clarification about what she actually saw in chapter 38. Corvus noticed that Simu was looking troubled, so he asked her if it had anything to do with what she saw when she looked at Rudo. Simu then told Corvus that she's looked at a lot of people over the years, and I'm gonna need you to pay close attention to what she says. What Rudo has is unlike anything I've ever seen. The gloves aren't the only thing that's different about him. There's something else. There's something inside him, and it's green. To put it simply, it's something that might destroy the world. Something like a curse. What you still chilling around for? It's literally stated in the story that he's gonna destroy the world, and I just pointed that out for you. What more do you want? Unless you need more analysis on why he's actually gonna destroy the world, then I got you. Hey, if that's the case, if you actually want more analysis from me, I'm gonna need you to subscribe and like the video real quick before we get back to that. You see, that wasn't too hard, fam. It just took you 5 seconds to subscribe, and it's a win-win. You're gonna be notified when I post more Gacha videos, and it's a win when someone subscribes for me. So yeah, thank you. Let's get back to the video and let me tell you why Rudo is actually gonna destroy the world. Sibu's conversation with Corvus is very eye-opening for a lot of reasons, but what sticks out to me in particular is when she says there's something in him and it's growing. I have a question for you guys. Do you think Rudo has a literal inner demon in him, like a Kurama Sukuna Laibi? Or do you think it's more of a mental thing? When I mean mental, I'm talking about past trauma and emotions and feelings that manifest in the worst way for the character. You see this in Thorfinn, Guts, and Killua. For me, I think it's both, and to explain why, we need to analyze an inner monologue this time around. I wanted to get a catalyst to get Rudo back to his original role, but maybe it will work out better to let him live like a human being for a while longer. After all, the higher he flies, the more it will hurt when he falls. When you look at Tamsin's inner monologue, it's pretty apparent that he's trying to break Rudo, and it's all for the sole purpose of releasing that specific thing inside him. This really is no different from Jogo feeding Yuji multiple fingers at once. The end goal is the same: reach a breaking point to unleash that inner demon. The only difference being that it's pretty apparent that for Rudo, it's more of a mental thing to break him, rather as for Yuji, it's more of a physical thing to break him. So to summarize everything up, Rudo has an inner demon within him that's growing by the day, but this demon can't be triggered unless he's put under immense emotional and mental stress that pushes him to the edge and breaks him. To me, this is clearly a mix of a literal inner demon and a mental one too. Rudo still harbors feelings of a lot of anger and contempt because of the betrayal and persecution he received from the people of the sphere. These feelings, while subdued, clearly still bother him and tend to bring out the worst from him, as we've seen before. You won't be wrong if you assume these feelings are his personal demons, and they are. There's just an additional wrinkle here. These feelings are fueling a demon that already resides within him, and regardless of whether he likes it or not, this demon is destined to wreak havoc and destroy the world if unleashed. So the big question here, well actually two, is this demon gonna destroy the world? And what world is being referred to here? The ground or the sphere? I have to be real with you guys. Honestly, I'm not sure. If I had to pick, I'll most likely say it's the sphere. My main reasoning for this is because of Zodil's narrative and his goals. While I am sure he's not going to achieve his goals, I do believe he's going to get really close to achieving it, with Rudo and the cleaners just barely stopping Zodil's plans from coming into fruition. I mean, that's how these sort of things usually play out for the most part, but there is an interesting dilemma that I haven't brought up yet. How does Rudo actually feel about all of this? Remember, this is someone that was prosecuted and seemingly executed by the Spherites. He doesn't owe them any sort of loyalty, and yes, he has grown as a person and is not solely driven by revenge anymore. But this is Rudo we're talking about. He wears his heart on his sleeves and is very emotional. The rage and disgust are still there. They didn't just magically go away. What's to say he doesn't do a complete 180? Now, I'm not saying he'll allow Zodil to carry on with his plans, because he definitely hates him. But what if he learns about, I don't know, some horrific detail about the past and he's just like, what the hell? You guys really did that? And he's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck y'all. All of you guys and everything about the sphere needs to go down. How likely is this? Chances are definitely low, but there is a chance. I would give it about like a 10 to 20% chance of it happening. It's kind of funny because the people that live on the sphere don't realize that they cast away their savior. And if Rudo was still on the sphere right now, Zodil would definitely succeed in destroying it. So in a weird type of way, I guess everything worked out for everyone. Well, not Rudo to be fair, because Recto would still be murdered and he would still be living in the slums. At least you have Chiba with him, so that's good. The whole situation is very tricky because, I don't know, at this point in the story, there's a lot of information we just don't know. What if Zodil is right and the sphere is supposed to be destroyed? What if it's the opposite? The ground was getting fucked up because of all the trash beasts, and the people in the sphere decided to escape. Remember, people that live in the sphere don't know that they are actually people that live in the ground and there's a thriving civilization there. There's just some things that don't add up in all of this. Regardless of the sphere being destroyed or not, things are still going to be pretty messed up for the ground. For starters, trash beasts are still going to be around. Remember, trash beasts are given life through the power of thought. There's still millions of tons of garbage that's around. All of this is still going to lead to anima being accumulated and trash beasts being formed even with the sphere gone. And that's why I feel that Zodil's plan is really undercooked. Because even if you get rid of the sphere, the no man's lands are not going to go away, the polluted zones are not going to go away, and the trash beasts are not going to go away. I feel like Zodil is in the mindset of things going to sort themselves out, but there's no indicator that's going to happen. This then begs the question, what if the ground is better off getting destroyed? I mean, don't get me wrong, the sphere is by no means perfect, but you don't have to worry about things like walking around with a gas mask because of the toxic air, and a whole bunch of other things that could kill you on the ground. And this leads to the other scenario. What if Rudo is actually meant to destroy the ground? I mean, in Kanye Shorbeck's letter, he did beg his children to live happy lives. What if the only place that's possible to live a happy life is on the sphere? Rudo's dad also did move him to the sphere to live there in the first place. He was like, hell nah, you ain't living on the ground, son. And that's when I'm like, there's just as much of a possibility that the ground is actually the world being referred to that could be destroyed rather than the sphere. It's honestly also fascinating to think about, like, what is gonna happen. I need answers. The law of Gacha just goes so deep. I do have a theory with what's going to happen come end of series. The power of the 3-hour gloves is to bring out the true worth and potential of something, specifically for things that are somewhat broken or thrown away. You look at the world of Gacha and this is a broken world for the most part. This looks like a world that's been through some world-ending war. It's essentially post-apocalyptic. So hear me out. What if Rudo uses his 3-hour gloves to fix the world as a whole? He brings out the true worth and full potential. This essentially fixes everything. This gets rid of all the trash beasts, the garbage, and pollution, and makes the world habitable and normal again. Yup, that's my big brain theory of what I think is gonna happen at the end of the story. I just feel it, and I'm gonna stick with my guns. The only thing I'm worried about though is how things break down once Rudo is done using them.